What's going on, guys? Multiverse Corrupt here with yet another action figure review video, and today we're having a look at Diamond Select Toys Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. Starting off this video, guys, we are of course taking a look at the Diamond Select Toys packaging. We are having to do it a little bit different today because mine actually showed up damaged, so it kind of really destroyed the box, but I digress on the subject. So we're just relying on photos here from Google Images. So right here, guys, is the front of the package. You see the figure itself standing straight up and down through the open face window with the accessories in the left-hand corner, and of course the other remaining little cylinder portion of his body in the bottom left corner. The Fantastic Four logo right here in the front. Marvel Select Toys in the top corner with Mr. Fantastic's name. Flipping over to the back, guys, we do see that it has the figure himself standing straight up and down with him plugged into his little cyclone effect that he's got going on with his legs twisting all the way up. That still can't be comfortable even with Mr. Fantastic's abilities. And then of course is the read up that we're going to dive into soon. Guys, with all that said though, guys, there's literally nothing else on the sides, the tops, or the bottom. So let's go ahead and get these photos out of here and take a closer look at the figure himself. A scientific genius and one of the most intelligent humans on Earth, Reed Richards led the outer space expedition that changed the Fantastic Four's lives forever. As such, he feels especially responsible for the group's well-being, particularly that of his friend Ben Grimm, who was more physically altered by the cosmic rays' effects than the rest of them. Though ever pragmatic and solution-oriented, Reed has found that his hyper-logical approach is not always the best, and has come to rely heavily on the rest of his team for their insight and heart, especially his wife, Sue. So right here, guys, is Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four, and I have to say, from my first-hand impressions on this figure, I love this figure, absolutely no question about it. It is freaking phenomenal. From the iconic blue and black suit with the nice crisp 4 logo, we'll get a closer look at that. Just no mistakes I can see on this figure. I really lucked out because I know Diamond Select Toys makes a few mistakes here and there on their figures, but this one here is mwah, chef's kiss. It is absolutely perfect. I cannot stress that enough. However, my only gripe with this figure, and I know it's from the comics and all, I was never a big fan of the white hair going all the way around from the back of his head to his sideburns. I, of course, grew up on the 2004 Fantastic Four films, so I, of course, love the iconic white sideburns. That, with all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and get Reed Richards off of the rotating turntable and take a closer look at the accessories that he came with. Starting off with the accessories, guys, he does come with this little swirly bird. I've just been calling it the cyclone effect for his lower half of his body. This is all of his legs just twisted all the way up, and probably some of his midsection as well, being that when you plug in the midsection here, it just snaps right on there and you can build onto it. But it just looks absolutely phenomenal. I love the detail that they put in to the cracks and crevices that we see twirling all throughout this here, and I even love the darker shades of blue that they added on here to really just go that extra mile. However, I will say this is not my favorite effect. This is not my favorite accessory we got for it, especially since my brother pointed out that when you build Mr. Fantastic onto this piece here, he looks like he could be your son's toothbrush holder in his bathroom. He just looks, it just fits right in there. Granted, it is for you to take another figure, we have Iron Man off to the side here, and for you to restrain him any way, shape, or form. Maybe he's in a fight and he don't want him to go nowhere, but it just, when it's together, the only thing I can see now, thanks to my older brother, is it just looks like a toothbrush holder. There's really no detail inside. There's no swirl effect or anything like that. Let me pull it up into the camera for you guys. But there's really nothing going on the inside here, so it's just flat with nothing exciting going on. But on the outside, that is where the meat and potatoes is in terms of detail and paint. With all that said though, guys, let's look at the rest of the accessories. Next up for the accessories, guys, we'll be taking a look at his little neck piece here, his little neck extender. And I just have to say, I do love the extended neck piece. It really makes him 10 times taller, makes him look absolutely phenomenal. actually showcasing his powers, especially when you have him in his little whirly bird here. It really looks amazing. Going over here now, guys, he does come with 2 extending hands. One is a fist, one is an open hand. Now, I will have preferred how he kind of shapeshifts his hands sometimes in the comics to like a sledgehammer or a spiked ball in one of those senses like that, but this right here is not that bad. We will have to deal with these, but they do make the figure look freaking awesome. Makes him look like he's ready to punch your freaking lights out and reach out to grab hold of you. Going over here now, guys, looking at his little extended torso here. His extended torso, it's actually pretty easy to see the front and the back. Right here's obviously the back. Right here's obviously how his abdomen has extended here. And I do love the wrinkles and shading we got inside the midsection here. Now, next up, guys, here we have the interchangeable hands. And he does come with 2 other sets. They are just flat palm hands, but they are currently plugged into the figure right now. But he does, of course, come with a set of grabby hands here. Going over here now, guys, we have a little flat hand here. I will say, I don't know if this is the hand that's supposed to hold this little transmitter here. I have no idea what this thing is. I've just been calling it the transmitter. But it's supposed to hold the transmitter like so. However, it doesn't really hold it in this hand. So this is probably just like a little flat hand here. But he does hold it better in this hand right here. I mean, hands are made for certain things for these figures. So this right here is obviously the hand made for the transmitter. With all that said though, guys, let's go ahead and get away from the accessories and zoom in to the figure himself. When it comes to the detail, guys, this Mr. Fantastic doesn't have a lot, but I will say they gave him just enough because they do wear these skin-tight leotards, and you'll see what I mean when we get to the body. But first, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look at this head sculpt here. Now, whoever's face mold they use for this here, this is just a Mr. Fantastic. This face mold right here, guys, does look amazing. It just screams Mr. Fantastic. It just screams smart guy, does it not? He is a smart guy. Look at him. Now, I'm not really sure what these little crevices are here. Maybe they try to give him some shading into his nose and underneath his eyes as well. Or maybe that's just accidental touches from the paint when they gave him the eyebrows. But he does have this like smuts on his face, which is kind of a turnoff. But with the naked eye, you cannot really tell unless you're like messing with your figure and being like, oh yeah, he's got stuff on his face. However, I don't know about you guys, but on a Fantastic Four, my eyes go straight here. This emblem looks absolutely phenomenal. I will say the 4 is a little crooked in terms of the paint compared to the mold, but there's nothing wrong with it because I can fix that with just a little black stroke here, 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 and here, and it will be just fine. Now, going down here now, guys, looking at the torso, this is what I was talking about in terms of detail. They added in these wrinkles from the suit itself. Up here into the armpit next to the pec, down here at the abdomen area as well, the different shading of blue that they added in, he just looks phenomenal. Such a simple thing can make a figure go such a long way, and it just looks absolutely phenomenal. Flipping over here to the back now, guys, not really much going on. They do have more wrinkles down here on the back, which we love to see it. Even got some wrinkles in the butt. I will say this is a weird looking butt though, how the cut goes straight down instead of actually curving out to give him a butt cheek. But I guess, you know, maybe he's just not built in that department. Who knows? It's Mr. Fantastic. His muscles up here, up in the brain, not down here in the gluteus maximus back there. Now, when it comes to his knees, they gave him some more wrinkles as well. And even down here on the boots around the ankles, even got the same small amount of detail, but they are just oh so slight. That makes it 10 times better. When it comes to the detail, guys, that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and zoom away from the figure and take a closer look at his size, articulation, and get into some size comparison. When it comes to how tall Mr. Fantastic stands, guys, Mr. Fantastic does stand, let's see that top of the head here, at about 7 1/8 inches tall. So we'll just round down to call him that standard 7 inches that Diamond Select Toys is known for doing for figures like these, as opposed to like their statues, which are like 15 inches tall. Let's go ahead and take him off of his base here. However, I do want to stress he does not come with a base. This is a NECA Toys base right here. So he does not come with a base, unfortunately. unless you want to count this as a base. When it comes to the articulation go, guys, we are taking a look at the head articulation first, and he doesn't really look up at all without trying to strain that peg in his neck here, so I'm really not going to force it. He doesn't look down or do much of anything. His head does rotate all the way around, but once again, it doesn't rotate so much at the top unless you want to take this out and actually make him do it. But when it comes to him being plugged in here, it's just really that peg that moves. No head tilt in this figure whatsoever. His arm articulation, his arm does go out about that far, and it does of course rotate all the way around. He does have bicep swivel and a single hinged elbow. His hands are interchangeable, so they do hinge up and down as well, and they do swivel all the way around. Be careful on the hinge though. These pegs feel just a little bit weak, so I don't want to break his hands in any way. And of course, he does have interchangeable arms, so his forearms, of course, have a swivel as well here at the elbow. When it comes to his ab articulation, guys, his core does rotate side to side, well, swivel side to side like so. It doesn't so much rotate all the way around unless you force it, but it kind of makes me a little bit nervous. So it does rotate all the way around, as well as his waist here, but that is because we have seen it uncork before, so you can put him on the base there. When it comes to his legs go out about that far. They go back about that far. Get a little crotch gap here. Is that from McFarlane Toys? Who knows? Got a little upper thigh cut as well, so it does swivel back and forth. Single hinged knees, and his knees also swivel, although I don't know why you would want your knee to go like that. Ouch! Somebody hurt this man. Going down here now to his ankles do articulate down. They articulate up. He does not have toe articulation, but he does, of course, have beautiful ankle pivot. Starting off the size comparison, guys, here we have Mr. Fantastic standing next to Diamond Select Toys Captain America from Captain America Civil War. And I will say these two stand together beautifully. And I would have loved to see Mr. Fantastic meet Chris Evans as Captain America, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that anytime soon. Next up for the size comparison, guys, here we still have Mr. Fantastic standing next to ZD Toys Iron Man Mark 6. And as you can see, these two do scale together beautifully. And of course, guys, you already know the multiverse is breaking, so jumping out of the Marvel Universe right into the DC land, here we have the Dark Detective Batman standing next to Mr. Fantastic, and these do scale together beautifully, so if you want a little bit of a crossover action, McFarlane Toys and Diamond Select Toys are the way to go. And last but not least, guys, here we have Mr. Fantastic standing next to Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic. And in terms of size, they simply do not work. And you couldn't even get away with a past or present looking here because they look nothing alike. Alrighty, guys, and there you have it. Another action figure review video in the books on my channel for you guys to enjoy. When it comes to my review on the Diamond Select Toys Mr. Fantastic, I'm going to have to give him a solid 10 out of 10. I absolutely love this figure. Call it nostalgia if you want to. Me growing up on the Fantastic Four and being obsessed with Marvel's first family, I absolutely love this figure. Diamond Select Toys did an amazing job. However, I will say Diamond Select Toys just don't wait 10 years to continue the wave. Now, I'm a little bit lucky on this standpoint that I do not currently own the Diamond Select Toys Human Torch or the Thing. However, I can get Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman, but I promise you, I will track them down. I already have them in my Amazon cart. It's just a matter of getting paid and hitting confirm purchase. With all that said, though, guys, if you did enjoy this video, guys, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We try to do at least 2 videos a week for you guys to enjoy. With all that said, though, guys, I'm getting out of here, and I will see you in the next video.